Sam J, you are
Yep.
here right now, and I'm gonna just let you know that my snook, which is my mom, she might just pop in at any moment because technology is a thing, and she's working on getting on. But we're gonna get it started. So Sam J, that's my wife, Serena Grace, right there, my sister Cole, and welcome
Hello.
to Montgomery and Co Pod.
Hey, what's
Welcome.
up?
Hey.
What's up with it? So I want to start out because I got questions. So you're a comedian, and we love comedians here. We just had Shantae Wayans on the show, so we feel like we're
hmm
getting funnier by the day now with you on here. So comedy is just not a traditional route, and I'm really curious on. There's not a certain pathway that you can go to be a comedian. So like, how did you get into it, and like, what was the moment where you knew like, all right, this is what I'm doing?
Um, I mean, I think I always liked it or was kind of interested in it, but I was just a little afraid to try it, I guess. And one day I just went to a mic and I just kept going. Like I just kept going to open mics and 3 minutes turned to 10, turned to 15, turned to 30. It kind of just built it up like that.
And so we're like in the beginning, what was that like though? I mean, you just going up on stage having to make people laugh. Like, I mean, like what like what would like tell me about it? That
Wow.
don't seem you saying it like it's simple. You must have
Right.
been funny in class, but most people ain't gonna get up and talk in front of people, whether it's 3 minutes, 5, 10, whatever.
I mean, I think by the time I really was like, this is what I'm gonna try it. I had kind of played. I'm like one of those people that plays out like every possible scenario in their
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
head, and then goes like, okay, it could go this way, it could go this way. So I knew like going in, like it was gonna be awkward, and just kind of putting that in my head made it less awkward. And I knew going
Okay.
in, I was gonna be uncomfortable. I knew going in, like probably weren't gonna like me right away. I just told myself all this kind of stuff like up
You
top.
prepare for the worst is what it sounds like.
Yeah, and I was like, so just, don't
Praying
sweat
for the
it.
best.
Yeah, just don't sweat it because like that stuff is bound to happen and it's about like your perseverance.
Definitely.
Mhm.
So, okay, I got a question since I know that you've written for an award show before, and we always see those presenters go up there and they read these one liners. And I'm like, sometimes they're the worst one liners known to man. So, who's writing them line? Like, who's writing them lines, Sam J? Because them presenter lines, it's like, what's going on there? Like, who's
I
writing that
mean,
stuff?
I mean, you know, the writers have to write it, but it's not really like our fault per se that it
Wait a
doesn't
minute.
go
That's like
well.
You talking about it's the delivery? So you saying them one liners, it's the delivery, it's not the writer's fault?
No, it's like a lot of stuff. It's like can write something and you think is funny for somebody, and then like their PR reads it and they're like, "Oh, they don't want to talk about chocolate ice cream." You know what I mean? And you're like, "I guess." And then
And
you have to
sometimes
go like,
delivery is everything.
"Yep, that too." And so you have to change
Delivery is
it
everything.
because they're not comfortable with the joke or they want to put their own
Mm.
stuff in
Mhm.
it, and like so that process is just a crazy process.
Tell me about
I
it because
bet.
like we hear about award shows, we've all seen award shows, but like, there is so much that goes behind it. You're a writer for you've been a writer, you've been there. So, is it like how long in advance do you guys start writing? Are you assigned a particular person? Like what is like how does all of that work?
It's like 2 weeks probably the room goes up, week
Wow.
before
That's
the
it.
show,
Whoosh.
and then they just keep telling you to write random stuff. You're just kind of like in a room, and then they're just like, they call it patter, and they'll go, we
Oh.
need like patter for like Chloe Bailey. This is what she's presenting,
Wow.
and that stuff
Oh,
keeps
nice.
changing too because it's also last minute and it's based on people's availability and like all types of stuff. So that stuff can keep changing around, like who was presenting what, or if that person's even going to show up now, and like so you're kind of
Mhm.
always like flipping it around, and then you're going through PR a lot, and like PR people aren't funny, so they'll just be like, "Oh, I don't get it," like that's, and then they'll try to like tell you got to do something else, and so it
I feel
wasn't my
as a PR
favorite
person, I feel
experience.
you. I do PR for Renee, and I can definitely attest to that. I am overly serious sometimes, so we apologize in advance for
Yeah,
those things.
I
Yeah.
love that though. So is it like, does everybody everywhere you go? Because right now I'm just waiting on you to be funny. Like, is that all the time? Like everywhere you go, everybody's
Oh,
waiting on you to
sorry.
be. No, listen. No, I mean you are funny. I'm just saying, like everywhere you go, is everybody like, tell us a joke? Tell us right now a joke.
Not really. Sometimes it happens sometimes, but not often. People are
Okay, so
generally cool so far.
all right, so you're about to appear soon opposite of Eddie Murphy, Jonah Hill, in an untitled feature film for Netflix.
Oh, wow.
Listen, talk to me about it. That's a big deal. I'm going to say it again.
Yes.
Eddie Murphy, Jonah Hill, you are about to appear soon alongside of them. Talk to me about that. And like what moments like that, I mean, started out doing a little bit of comedy, as you said, 3 to 5 minutes. Now you on Netflix. Now you getting awards. Like, talk about it.
Um, well, the movie, I'm excited about it. I haven't seen it yet, so I don't know what it's like. I've been told it's really good from a few people and that it came out
Yeah.
well. I'm supposed to screen it in a couple days because I have to go to Essence Fest and talk about it. But I
Oh,
mean,
Dope.
nice.
doing
Oh.
it and making it was super surreal because I had never done a movie before. And that was my first movie, and I was like, "Whoa, this is like everybody, like Eddie's in it, Jonah's in it,
Come on.
Nia's in it, Lauren London's in
Nia who?
it, Long,
Nia
Right, but
who?
what other Nia?
I was like,
um,
what other Dia?
Listen, just making
you
sure.
know, it's like Mike Epps is in it, Kim Whitley's in it, so
Oh
it
Oh
was
wow.
wow, has an all-star
like a big
cast.
deal, yeah. And I was like,
Hmm.
fresh behind, like wet behind the ears as far as movies were concerned. So I was definitely like nervous at first. But
I bet. Yeah.
Jonah was really awesome about just being so chill that it was easy to be chill. You know what I
Okay.
mean? I
That's
think
what's
Mhm.
that's
up.
the like advantage of working with a vet like Jonah is
Mhm.
he's so chill on set and he's so like it'll get done, don't worry about it, that it made it like
Mhm.
super chill for me and it made it kind of easy for me to kind of step in and do what I needed to do. Um and also shout out to Kenya for casting me. I thought that
Yes.
was
So
really
how did
cool of
that
him.
become? How did that come about? And that's Kenya Barris, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Shouts to Kenya Barris. So how did that come about? Like, how did you get casted? There's a lot of funny. You listed a lot of funny in that movie.
Yeah.
Um I don't know, you're making this feel like a lot of pressure.
Oh well,
I was like, it felt
You're
like a
like,
real interview.
it's a
you
big
better be
deal.
good. You better be good,
No, I'm saying it's lit. Like you're in an
cause
all-star lineup and you're an all-star in the lineup. I'm just trying to
um,
give you your flowers, Sam J. Okay?
You
nah.
just
I mean,
modest. That's all. You modest.
Kenya just like honestly, he like called me and he was like, I wrote this thing with Jonah, and we think you would be great in this role, and like
Wow.
Jonah really is into you, and I think you would kill this, and like if you want to do this, it's yours. And I was like, huh? And he was like, yeah, no, if you
That's
want to read
respect,
it
though.
and you're
Yeah.
into it, then like I really want you to do this thing, and I think
Let's
you could be really
go.
great in it. And I read it, and it felt like a role that I could like handle. It didn't feel like out of my reach, and I was like, I feel like I could do this. And but I was also like, dang, this is crazy because I'm playing Jonah's best friend. So this is I didn't expect it to be so much
What?
Wow.
lines. I was like, oh wow, this is like actually like being in a movie. But I don't know. I I thought I was just gonna like slide through and be like yucka yucka and then like leave, But I was like, all right,
No. That's what I'm
okay.
trying
It's
to
just
tell
like
you. This is
I
a
gotta
big
like be in
deal.
it. I gotta be in it. So I don't know. It was challenging, but I just felt I felt ready for it, and I try not to like run away from things that kind of scare me and like run towards them. And
Love it.
so I was
Mhm.
like, oh, if this is making me a little nervous and giving me that like butterfly feeling, then it's probably something I need to do. And if it doesn't
That's
work out and I'm
awesome.
terrible, I'll just go do stand up. And that's kind of how I looked at it. And
That was a great way. Look, you had a backup plan. Had plan B.
yeah, I was like, well, I'll just go do stand up and make fun of myself for being bad at it. So it'll all work out.
So, did you enjoy it though? Is there more acting on the horizon after that experience, or you're like, I'm just going to kind of stay in my comedy stand up lane, or is now that kind of opened up a whole new world for you?
Um, I mean, yeah, of course, like whenever you do something and you're like, oh, I'm kind of capable of this. You're interested to see like how far you can take it. But I don't know that I'm necessarily like pressed. I'm not like running around looking for roles. I just feel like the right stuff will come
Right.
to me as long as like I keep working and putting my most authentic self out there. You know what I mean? And I have other things that I'm doing right now, so I'm not really like super like, oh, what's the next movie? But I'm also not like, no, don't bring me any more movies. You know?
Yeah,
Right.
so I mean,
So
speaking
I have a
Go ahead.
question. So you have an incredible resume. You've written for SNL. You starring in HBO. So who are you inspired by? Who are your comedic inspirations?
Wow. I don't. I love so much comedy, and so much comedy has like formed my identity over the years. You know what I mean? And like
Mm.
different phases, I was into different stuff. You know, like when I was a teenager, I was really into like The State and Kids in the Hall and like Beavis and Butthead and like kind of like
Oh, okay.
alt
Okay.
comedy
Okay.
stuff
Okay.
like that,
Yeah.
Mr. Show and like alt comedy stuff. I went through a whole like Flight of the
Mhm.
Concords and like all that kind of alt stuff. And of course, like the classics, Eddie's, the Chris Rocks, the
Mhm.
you know, all the Kings of Comedy, the
The
Bernie Macs,
OGs,
Theo
right?
Hughleys, like all the OGs, Wanda Sykes,
Oh
Janine
Mhm.
yeah.
Garofalo, Sarah Silverman. I just like stand up.
So you
I've
study
always
the
just
greats.
really David Wayne's. Yeah, I just always loved stand up. I didn't even realize I was studying it, I don't think. I just liked it a lot
Mm.
and watched it a lot. And I didn't even realize what about it was like downloading in my brain, you know? I just really
I guess it
and
doesn't feel like studying,
When you
but
no,
enjoy
it
it,
just
it's
felt
And
like doing
amazing.
enjoy
something
it.
I like. Yeah.
Yeah.
right,
That's
exactly.
amazing. And so you talked about you have a lot of different things going on your own, and that is a beautiful thing because you aren't waiting on anything. Each week you host a party at your apartment where you have guests explore topics, conversations, and expand
Mhm.
further. So can you just talk about it? It's called Pause with Sam J. It's created by Sam J and Prentice Penny, but can you just talk about it a little bit?
I mean, Pause is a late night show, technically, but I don't think it feels like any other late night show that you've ever seen. But it is a late night show. It lives in the late night space. We tackle evergreen topics, versus most late night shows. They tackle current events. We kind of chose to go the other way and talk about these kind of more macro feelings and evergreen things that we feel like people are constantly struggling with, and have some real conversations around them, and then go out in the world and interview like real people with real life experience about the topic, and make some jokes all the way through it. You know, have some fun and be silly all the way through it. And people seem to be into it, which is cool because I didn't know how that was gonna go either. I was
Isn't
like,
that
yeah,
dope though when you create something that you don't know if
like
people
I
are
don't
going to
know,
really rock with it and then all
Yeah.
of a sudden people are rocking with it? Like that's the
yeah.
best.
No, it is really cool, and again, I had never been in like the late night space at all. So, and
Yeah, that's a big space.
I never hosted my own show, so we were just kind of like
Mhm.
from scratch and trying to figure out what was going to be the best vehicle for me and how it was going to work. And thank God for Prentice being very open to me just coming in with like crazy ideas and being like, "What if it's this?" And him like, "Okay, let's try it." So
Makes it
that
easy
really
to
helped us like find the show
Yeah.
identity and what it was
Mhm.
gonna be.
I
Now,
love that.
Pause with Sam J received a nomination, multiple ones I'm looking at here,
Ooh,
comedy variety sketch series from the Writers Guild Awards
Nice.
in 2022. Congratulations on
yes,
Thank you.
everything again.
congrats.
That's
You created it
wonderful.
and people are rocking with it.
Yes, female creators.
Now, I can't let you go before you are sitting in front of a beautiful display in my eyes. And it's a
Oh,
bunch of shoes for I'm listen, you're talking to a
Yeah,
former
I was
athlete
checking that
here.
out myself.
Okay, we're talking. So I realize that we are also talking not only to a comedian, actress, we're talking to a sneakerhead right
Sneakerhead.
now. Okay, so
yeah.
tell when did your love for sneakers start? How many pairs of shoes do you have? We see about 20 pair right here minimum.
Mm,
Probably like, I don't know, maybe like 200 or something.
What?
Woo!
Look like nothing.
Wow.
No, it's
Talk
not.
to
It's not a.
Wow.
him.
It's not a good thing at all.
It's not a
It's not a
don't say
good
it so
thing.
shamefully. That's a good thing.
Um,
That's a good thing.
but I always like
Sam
stickers since
J,
I was a
that's
kid.
goals. This is don't be telling me it's not a good thing. There are people that will look at this and
I'm
say
about to
it's a
say
beautiful thing.
there are a lot of people who are going to
Yeah.
disagree with that
My
statement.
nephews,
Yeah.
my son. There are people
Yes,
that will
mine
look at
too.
that. So, what's
Yeah.
your favorite shoe? Like, what's your guilty pleasure? I would say, like my son, Jordan ones are his weakness. Like
Yeah.
that's it. That's what it is. What like? Would you have a shoe that's like
Ones.
it's
No, it's the
ones
ones
too?
too.
Yeah.
It's
One is
just
my
like
that's the one I have the most of. It's my favorite Jordan. I don't know, they're clean and like pretty much put them with anything. They're super like they're not
facts.
like bulky. They're slim. So they
Yeah.
look like good with pretty much anything. Like
Yeah,
some
yeah.
shoes are like kind of
That's
bulky, so you got to put them with the right pants. But like a Jordan, you can
Mhm.
kind of just Jordan 1, you can just kind of put it with anything.
With anything. Yeah.
what's the most
So that's
Classic.
probably
exclusive
my
pair you
favorite.
got back there? What's the most exclusive, hard to get pair you got?
I got a pair of trophy rooms, Jordan 1
Oh,
trophy
there it
rooms.
is. There it is.
Wow.
Well,
Sheesh.
there
Wow.
it is. Okay, there it is,
And
and
she's so
there it
casual
goes.
with it too.
I know you are like, listen, the most. I'm gonna have to flex for you. You a little too humble. I'm gonna have to flex for you. She got over
Too
200
modest. Too
pairs of
modest.
shoes. She's been nominated on top of nominated on top of nominated. She sat with Jimmy Kimmel Live. She's created her own stuff. She's gonna be acting alongside Jonah Hill, alongside all the other all-star cast. Sam J, what's next? What you
Thank
got coming
you.
up next then? What are you looking forward to?
I'm working on some projects. I got something I'm working on with HBO that's more like a series, possibly, maybe.
Looking forward.
Hopefully another stand-up special. And
Yes.
yeah, that's about it right now. I'm trying to like take a I think that's enough stuff. I'm always thinking about stuff
Do
and
you need a
I'm
vacation? Is that
She
what I
said
need
she
to be
needs some
asking?
downtime.
yeah, I need a little downtime. Definitely trying to go to Spain in September.
Oh, that's
Hopefully I'll get out of
nice.
here.
Nice.
Yeah, I want to go to Spain really bad. Um,
Well, that's
Ooh.
Everyone's like, "Why Spain?" I'm like, "I don't know. It just sounds like it would be a fun spot because of the
yeah.
hours.
Yeah, see
Really,
when you
everyone tells me like they do everything late, and it's like I'm a
They
comic, so
do.
Mhm.
that kind of works to my clock. You know what I mean? Because I'm
Your
I'm up
creative
late.
hours.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I'm like, oh,
You'll
that'd be
come
nice to
back
go
from
somewhere.
Spain.
I love
Yes, ma'am.
that.
You'll come back from Spain and you'll have all this new material that you'll be creating
Yeah,
and
hopefully.
stuff to talk about. So that's always good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
inspiration,
guys,
seeing something different. For sure.
Yes. Yes.
inspo. Well, you're an inspiration, and you guys can check out Bust Down on Peacock. I'm telling you right now, Sam J, you are popping. Keep it moving. You're the most
Yes.
humble comedian ever, baby. You better start letting them know. Say it with your chest.
And pause on HBO, right?
Yeah,
Pause on
pause.
HBO. We
Okay.
got
Yeah.
Bust Down. We writing things. Okay, we've done
Mhm.
MTV. You done a lot. Okay, now we going to Spain. We're gonna get some material there. Hope you get some rest, Sam J, and thank you
Thank
for
you.
joining us here on Montgomery and Company.
Thank
Thank
you.
you
So
guys for
nice
your
to meet
time.
you.
Nice to
It was
meet
very
you.
nice to
Thank
meet you guys as
you.
well.